Hello, everyone, and welcome to Flickering Myth. My name is EJ Marino, and to get into the holiday spirit, I have Alan joining me to talk about a good selection of Christmas horror films, a
Yes.
subgenre that is more loved than Halloween, to be honest. They're about the equal amount of holiday horror films there.
Yeah. Probably. Maybe so. I might actually be a little weak in this category, but I'm here for it.
But I have enough here in my notes that are, I think, enough crossover appeal.
Yes.
One in the middle we'll talk about is Gremlins. I think everyone has seen Gremlins.
Yes.
Somehow, okay. We're going to start at the beginning. The first Christmas horror film I could find, going through the brief history of this weird subgenre. I'm not going to talk about all of them, so I'm going to miss some of your favorites. Sorry, I'm not talking about the one with Goldberg playing Santa Claus and all that. There is one where he's a killer Santa Claus.
Great.
Watch it. It's Santa Sleigh. Um, Yes. Okay. So first one I have is Black Christmas from 1974.
Mhm.
Any Black Christmas knowledge on your hand?
Zero. I haven't seen it, and I never saw the remake or the other remake.
Yeah, we're on two remakes
Like,
now.
yeah, I've
Um,
completely missed the Black Christmases.
the 2000s is a gory, incest-filled, weird shock art. You know, the 2000s of horror films, where this new one is obnoxious feminist stuff. So they've aged through the it's a good specter test, but this 70s one honestly is really creepy. It
Yeah.
is one of the very first slasher films. This came out the same year as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was years before
Mm.
Halloween. This was, I think,
Yeah.
74, 75. Halloween was 77,
Hmm.
78. So this is a very interesting time for the genre. Holiday horror. This has the POV intro, which we know from Halloween. I mean, literal
Yeah.
John Carpenter has talked about it. He stole it from Black Christmas. That
Yeah.
is fine. He's a 70s stoner filmmaker. You can do whatever you want, my friend. This has the POV. This has a deranged killer hunting down a group of teens, which is a lot of what we would see all through the 80s.
Mhm.
It's insane how much this very much started from the very beginning. It's really creepy. It is that disturbing kind of horror that only the 70s could capture.
Yeah. So
You
I
you've seen enough 70s to know.
Yeah, I get that without you having to even explain it further. Yes.
And it's the beauty of it, though. Much like Texas Chainsaw Massacre of the same year, this movie is not very gory.
Mm,
um it's there's phone calls that he does. It's very, the calls coming from inside the house kind of vibe. But
hmm.
the messages he's leaving and how he's talking to, like, Olivia Hussey and Margot Kidder, who are so great in this movie. I don't know when Margot Kidder did Superman, but this is definitely that era of her.
A few years later, she's
God, and she's
78.
so awesome. She's so feisty in this movie, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what we love about her. That's what we liked about her, Lois Lane, as well. There was
Yeah.
not the damsel in distress vibe. She was like, no, no, I'm good. I'll just
Yeah.
have the
The one good Lois Lane. Sorry.
Amy. I can't say anything. She did Hillbilly Elegy this year. Amy Adams has lost my points for a little bit.
I love me some Amy Adams, but not her Lois Lane. Anyway.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll go back to Christmas horror where we
Yes.
agree on a little bit more. But yes, Black Christmas, the original one, is so creepy. I would recommend anyone go out to see this one. It's worth the view. I think it's one of the best ones out of this whole list that I put together because it's like a real movie. Uh,
Yeah.
Also,
I'll
fun
get around to it. I'll try to watch it this holiday season.
and it's a good double feature with the director's other Christmas movie. Bob Clark directed this. He also directed A Christmas Story. So
Oh.
Black Christmas filmmaker Bob Clark would later on, a couple years later, make somehow Ted Turner made into the most recognizable Christmas movie of all time.
It was like the cheapest possible movie to license for TV.
Yeah, if you guys don't know that, Ted Turner bought that rights because no one liked it, and that movie was panned when it came out, and now it's a Christmas staple. Everyone knows the leg lamp. I've still never seen that movie. I'm gonna wait.
It's worth your time. I actually think it's a charming movie.
Okay. I
And
heard it's charming because it's kind of dark as well. There's a soul in that movie that's a little, like, not the family friendly vibe I would have thought.
yes, yeah, yeah, exactly.
So it makes sense that he did a slasher film before that. Going up 10 years into the 80s, the slasher genre is here. holiday horrors are all the rage for Halloween, Friday the 13th, My Bloody Valentine. Now we have Silent Night, Deadly Night. Ever seen this one?
No.
Good, don't.
Okay.
Though Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 has one of the best internet memes of all time, the Garbage Day.
Garbage Day! Huh? No!
And he shoots somebody who's holding a trash can. That is from Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
Okay.
You have seen it on the internet if
Yeah,
you've
I
been
have
on there
seen
enough.
that.
Yes, Garbage Day is from Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. It's bad. They get worse and crazier as they go along, where like Screaming Mad George, who did effects for like Society and weird zombie movies, is doing them. And it gets buggy. Ron Howard is in one of them. No. Clint Howard. Sorry,
Yeah,
Clint
that
Howard.
sounds more.
Clint Howard is in two of them, but playing a character in one. Yes, sorry, not Ron Howard. But looking at his year this year, it wouldn't shock me. But no, Clint Howard is in it. And then after protesting the original in the fifth one, Mickey Rooney is in it. He plays a deranged guy named Joe Petto. He has a son that he makes. I don't know how it's a Christmas movie, but it's one of those things where they end up buying the rights to it and then just putting on the name because it was going to get more stuff in the VHS era. Yes, this
Wow,
series.
this way more happened with this than I thought.
Oh yes, there's 5 of these movies. That first one is just a dude who happens to see Santa Claus do some crazy stuff. So as he gets older, snaps and becomes a killer Santa.
Yeah.
Big backlash in the 80s, though. This is the middle of Satanic Panic. This is not the time to be messing with Christmas holiday vibes, and this movie got so much heat. It is insane. Like
That
it's not worth it. It's definitely
that
one of those 80s movies where some lady was complaining about it and made it more famous.
Yeah, that tends to be what happens with things like that. Um, let's talk about one that we missed chronologically, and probably doesn't get brought up in this conversation a lot because it's an anthology film. But the original Tales from the Crypt movie from
Yes.
1972 opens up
It's
with the Killer Santa.
yes, I believe some fabulous woman is in it. Oh my god, I want to say Joan Collins. In my gay knowledge,
I think you're right.
I feel like she's in it. And yes, that is one of those. It's one of those TV more movies. That's why it wasn't on my list, though I do have a straight to VHS classic in my 90s 2000 section, but
Uh, did this go straight to TV?
I believe it was. I think a lot of the Tales of the Crypt was. I don't think until Demon Knight and then Bordello of Blood they were
Well,
like,
this was 1972 though.
oh
This was
wow.
this was like before like the
So Black
puppet and
Christmas
everything.
too.
Like
Oh,
this is like
the old school one. Oh yes.
yeah,
Before that
where
80s 90s resurgence.
yeah. Why am I sorry. Yeah, it's the one with Joan Collins was in the and All Through the House was the name of that segment. And that I remember seeing very young.
Yeah, no. It was played on like HBO maybe even growing up a lot. Is one of those like you saw it on basic cable stuff and it was pretty
Yeah.
good.
I think they eventually redid the Killer Santa in the show,
Okay.
but I very specifically remember seeing the old one as a kid, too,
So
with
let's
Joan Collins.
jump to our other 1984 hit,
Okay.
Gremlins. I
Gremlins.
just rewatched Gremlins for the first time in a while. That movie is so much darker than I remember. It is
Hmm.
definitely one of the ones, I believe it's a PG-13. If not, it was one of the ones that started pushing the PG-13 with Temple of Doom and all that. It's
I
in that same era where we're having to go, okay, this isn't for little kids, but this
yeah,
isn't just for adults.
I
This
think it
is
was one of the last PGs.
which it
Uh,
feels like that. Oh God, it
yeah.
because it's dark, it's fun. The
Yes.
puppets are great. Gizmo is still. I mean, I'm gonna have to say it's Gizmo and Baby Yoda are some of my favorite puppets like that. I think they're just
Yeah.
so lifelike and so alive in their scenes. I actually do like A New Batch, the Gremlins 2 sequel. It's so
I love
meta.
Gremlins too. I
It's
don't know if
so
it has a
good.
place in this conversation,
No,
but
it
I
doesn't.
fucking love Gremlins too.
Yes, Greta, icon, legend, known as a trans queen as well. So hey, she's
Yeah.
awesome. But no, Gremlins One Stripe is so cool. Like it's a
Hmm.
good film. I don't remember the weird Phoebe Cates or whatever monologue about her dead dad and the chimney. Do not
Yeah.
remember that at all.
Oh yeah,
Forgot that was there.
that scarred me as a kid. So yeah, I definitely remember that.
It is so dark. It's a good film though. It has a lot of kills. I watched this one YouTube series called The Kill Count, and I would love
Yeah.
to see him cover it because there's enough in there that I'm like, they kill the science teacher guy, they kill that one lady or the guy with the stairs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a good film. It's probably the best out of this whole list, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's
Yeah, probably. So, yeah, honestly, like if I was a kid, when I was a kid, if you'd have been like, if you'd have brought up that like Gremlins was a horror, I'd just be like, what? But yeah, no, it's a horror film.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
there's even slight, I don't want to go Cronenberg level body horror, but that stuff when Gizmo first gets wet,
oh
it's
yeah, that's
not a
creepy.
comfortable scene.
No.
Like, he's getting tortured and he's yelling, and I feel bad for him. Like,
Yeah.
I do remember Feldman being in that movie way more than what he is. I
Hmm.
was kind of disappointed watching it back now and be like, oh, you're not in this a lot.
No.
What were you doing in '84? Well, okay, not yet. So he was still doing fine.
Yeah.
Jumping now a whole nother decade, we're going to the VHS era,
Mhm.
something we both hold fondly. We're both video store era kids. Do you
Yes.
remember the Jack Frost cover in video stores?
Oh
That
yeah.
holographic cover?
Oh my God. Yes, absolutely.
That is, I mean, I just wanted to talk about Jack Frost just for the cover alone because of that was the beauty of that era of film, though. You
Hmm.
had to have the cool cover. I literally have something, I'll put a graphic up in the video and you can see it later, where they talk about it having the best 3D holographic cover, better than Independence Day and something else. And I was just like,
Jurassic Park, The
I,
Lost World,
I
Jurassic
think
Park.
so. It literally, they're calling them out on the
Because that been in
cover.
that same era.
And they're not lying though. That cover was dope. It's so good, so graphic. The movie,
Oh, the
whew,
movie is terrible. I remember seeing it when I was younger, and all I but the only thing that really scared me was that opening scene where he gets hit with the
the
stuff and he's like and he
melting.
transforms. Yes, that's horrifying. The rest of the movie, not so much.
No, that one obnoxious sour scene where he sexually assaults Shannon Doherty. Not a fun
Yeah.
scene.
Mm-mm.
It gives me the giggles because of just the pure, like, this guy in a
Shannon
big
Elizabeth.
Shannon Elizabeth, not Doherty. Yes, Shannon Doherty was better than that. She was Uncharmed at this moment.
Yes.
Shannon Elizabeth was in American Pie. I think it's maybe even before American Pie, '97. I think American Pie was '99. So yeah, this
Yeah.
is very early Shannon Elizabeth, and that scene is hard to watch. Like
Yeah.
it's not fun, but at the same time, just the suit makes it the giggle worthy moment of like, oh, okay. But yeah, I will say this is a fun throwback though to the 2000s. There is a really bad sequel that's even worse. The effects are even worse. We
I didn't
ended
even
up,
know this was a thing
yeah.
until you mentioned it the other day.
Though there is also another one I'm not going to bring up too much, The Ginger Dead Man, which is starring Gary Busey as a little evil gingerbread man. Same similar vein, schlocky VHS era movies. I miss them. We definitely don't have that anymore.
No.
Um, Going
I,
through Amazon Prime, I will say
there's
Prime will pick up a good, wow, this movie is a student film.
oh yeah, there's still some real horror trash out there. It's just that we don't um we're not exposed to videos
Yeah.
as much anymore. Like you don't you have to kind of go looking for it. You don't just accidentally walk down the video aisle, the horror aisle at Blockbuster and be like, "What the fuck is
Yeah,
this?"
you don't
Like
have that Jack Frost cover anymore,
yeah.
which you segue perfectly into my final segment. The most big budget out of all of these, the most, maybe Gremlins and it ties with it, is 2000, I think 15 in my notes, Krampus.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I forgot this
Krampus, Michael
happened.
Dougherty is a fantastic director. He ended up doing the new Godzilla King of the Monsters. He did Trick or Treat
Mhm.
as his big introduction into the genre. He
Mhm.
gets the genre. I'm not the biggest Krampus fan. it has a lot of what that I see a lot of people reference this now, the Amblin era. It feels Amblin era. It feels that one like Gremlins. That
Mhm.
how is this for the whole family? But it's so dark, so
Yeah.
creepy. The Krampus design in that movie is out of this world. They have little evil gingerbread people as well. It's a fun movie. I think it's. I mean, Tony Collette's in it, so also watch a movie with Tony Collette today.
Yeah,
That could
I'll
also
do
be
that.
my rule. Adam Scott's in it as well. The guy who says "whammy" all the time. He's in. I always forget his name. I'm not a big fan, but he's there. But yeah, no, it's a fun watch, and it's so funny to see Gus going from Jack Frost to Krampus. We don't have that it's low budget anymore. They try to make a big budget one. We talk on the podcast about can you make cult classics into mainstream films. Krampus tried, and it
Yeah.
really tried, and it didn't do that well, which broke my heart because
Yeah.
could have done a little bit
I've
better.
actually been meaning to watch that one. I remember whenever it was getting made because Kevin Smith was talking about making a Krampus movie, and then that happened, and he was like, I guess not.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but I would definitely say recommend that. I think it's a good place to leave off of just seeing this growth. I mean, you talked about something even I didn't have in my notes from 1972. This is a fun, weird subgenre that I think this time of year, go celebrate it. Go watch your favorite Christmas horror movie. Do you have one more to recommend? No?
No, I was just going to say that like Creepy Christmas is just one of my favorite things, just period.
the
Like,
the one I missed out on is Nightmare Before Christmas because it's in the
yeah,
horror genre. It's in this, but everyone knows about it. We all know it's an amazing
yeah,
movie,
yeah.
but it is a good example of creepy Christmas. Those little presents that Jack tries to do with those when he's like trying to make the Christmas presents, and they're all just terrifying.
Yeah.
Warms my little goth kid
Great.
heart. But yes, this is a fun time to celebrate this. Let me know, guys, your favorite Christmas horror movie down in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. Alan, thank you for joining me.